One of Donald Trump's first orders of business when he came back into the White House this year was to sign a series of 3 different executive orders banning books at public schools and government-funded schools across the world. Not just in the United States, but also public schools, government-funded schools on military bases in other countries. As a result of that, getting rid of the so-called wokeness in this literature, hundreds and hundreds of books were pulled off the shelves at schools everywhere from Kentucky all the way to Japan. And several families of students at 5 different schools, one in Japan, one in Italy, several in Kentucky, and another one in Virginia, sued. And they said, you can't do this. This is obviously a violation of our rights, our constitutional rights. These books are not harming anyone. There is no reason for this. There is no, educational problem with these books. They're doing it for politically motivated reasons. And this week, a federal judge sided with those families saying, you are absolutely right. This administration had no reason other than politically motivated hatred to remove these books. And the judge, U.S. District Judge Patricia Tolliver Giles, ordered more than 600 books to be returned to those school libraries in Virginia, Kentucky, Italy, and Japan. Now, the judge made it clear, the reason I'm not putting all the books back in all the schools is because all of the schools were not plaintiffs. She said, look, this case only involved these particular schools, so I'm only able to do it for you guys. Which was also kind of a signal if you're at another school and you want the books back, come on. You got to file the suit. You got to join in. This was not a, blanket challenging the order itself necessarily. It's challenging the order with relation to these particular schools. And yes, when you file a lawsuit, the more specific you get, the narrower the group is that benefits from the result. So that's the reason it only affects those schools. But I gotta read this because I love what the judge put in the ruling. Plaintiffs have demonstrated a likelihood of showing that defendants, the Department of Defense, stated motivations for removing over 500 library books set forth an impermissible partisan or political motivation. She then added that the ruling might be different if the Department of Defense removed the books because of educational suitability, and that while the government argues their removal was over pedagogical concern, which means related to teaching, she was not persuaded, as Trump's executive orders have generalized directives without a particular focus on education. She said, moreover, the faulty implementation of the removals suggests that the removals were not rooted in pedagogical concerns. Thus, the defendants removed books without any inkling of the partisan ideas central to the executive orders, without even completing the detailed review process, further evinces the proper partisan motivation underlying their actions. So that's another important part of it. The schools, rather than going through the review process that was actually set forth, as part of the executive order, just said, screw it, take them out. We're getting rid of the books. Not going to do it. So, yeah, all along the way, there were problems with this up to and including the order itself. So this is a positive step forward. Okay, this is a good thing. We don't get to talk about good things very often anymore these days, folks, but this is a good one. A step forward at a time when this administration is trying to set us decades, if not centuries, back. Thanks for watching, everyone. We're inching closer and closer to 1 million subscribers, and we're aiming to hit that goal before the year closes. So if you aren't subscribed to the channel, please do so, and don't forget to like, comment, and share. Thanks for joining us as we head towards this huge milestone.